It was a nightmare for hundreds of people. Heavy rains overwhelmed the creek beds, putting homes and families at risk. 1 year after the Halloween floods on Onion Creek, we take a look back and a look forward. Those floods caused more than $1 million in damage, but they also taught some valuable lessons.
Floods can happen in many parts of town. More than a foot of rain just happened to fall over Onion Creek that night 1 year ago. It resulted in the most destructive natural disaster in Central Texas since the Bastrop wildfires. As we saw during flooding last summer, first responders have changed their strategies. They are now staging rescue watercraft in different parts of town just ahead of time and starting emergency communications quicker.
The Onion Creek floods also pushed local and federal officials to buy back homes, spending tax dollars to get people away from areas prone to flooding. But as KXAN's Chris Sadeghi explains, future buyouts could impact families who spent a year climbing back.
When we found Lupe Escalante last year, her whole family had to live out of their living room alone. Flood damage had left them and their home almost broken.
A lot of people lost a lot of stuff. People lost their lives.
Now a year later, we've returned and found things have changed.
We've replaced all the walls. All these baseboards are new.
Their home is much more comfortable.
They think our house is the best house now on the street.
But it has not been easy.
Didn't realize how expensive stuff was.
Even Lupe is surprised they're still here.
I thought I'd be leaving, but we had nowhere to go. We didn't have the money either.
1 year later, there's still a lot of abandoned homes like this one in Onion Creek. But then there are those like Lupe Escalante who put in the time and money to fix her home up, even if it does have an uncertain future.
We made the repairs we've needed to make, and we're here now, but we're still struggling.
Insurance money helped provide some repairs while hard labor took care of others, but it may not last.
We're on the list to be bought out, but the city hasn't came by and made an offer or anything. It's a waste. You know, we've put money into this house for it to be knocked down.
The Halloween 2013 floods have already scared off many of her neighbors, and buyouts may push Lupe and family to leave behind what they worked so hard to save.
This is our home. It's been our home for 11 years. We have memories here.
Memories both good and some bad.
My daughter, my 9-year-old, she's still traumatized. It doesn't matter where we're at. Anytime it rains, she's scared that we're gonna flood again.
When it does, they may be living somewhere new. In South Austin, Chris Sadeghi, KXAN News.
The massive cost of the flooding has sped up the buyout process in that part of Austin. There are several projects underway depending on how likely a property could see flood damage. This June, the city began the process of buying 140 properties at risk of flooding in the next 25 years. But it is a long-lasting process. As of this past Monday, the city has appraised 129 of those properties. 20 property owners have accepted the city offers. And just 2 buyouts have gone through. Since the floods, KXAN News has also investigated how Austin's 911 call center has been overwhelmed during the flooding. Hundreds of calls came in but left on hold. That led to a review of the call center and the hiring of up to 21 new staff members. This coming Monday, Austin's public safety commissioners will vote on a recommendation to the full council. It calls for an expedited response process at the 911 call centers in times of high call volume.